Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Marketing Botics podcast or video if you're watching this on YouTube. So what I do every weekday is I create a video stroke podcast. I put it up onto my Anchor, which is owned by Shopify. Put it up on there and I put the video up onto YouTube. And then I use certain tools and AI in order to turn that into a blog, and I go through it and make sure that is all how I want it to be. So I have a system in place in order to make sure that I start killing it with content and bringing you stuff that you want to see. And that's what I want to talk about at the moment is digital marketing in 2023 and understanding what you should be doing and the changes that have happened, to grow your business online. So let's get started and talk about where we are. Now, for me, there's certain aspects that kind of haven't changed. And one of those is certain social media tools like LinkedIn and Facebook. And Instagram. They haven't changed the way that they operate too much, but the way that we consume content definitely has. More people are wanting to see video content than they've ever seen before. And we're getting to that point now where we really have to break that barrier of us holding back from delivering video content. And, if you are saying like, well, video isn't for me, I don't want to do it and I haven't got time or, I don't present very well, then it's time to have a look at who you are and not to change that, but to find a way to get over that inability, that inhibition to do it. Because for me, one of the reasons that why we don't do it is mostly down to imposter syndrome. That fear of putting up video and what someone is going to say about it. And there's always a huge fear and some hesitation in order to do it. But we really have to start maximizing on it. How-to videos have been prominent for a very long time on platforms such as YouTube. And also presentation videos as well. They have been growing more and more and more as influencers, start to make these talking head videos, these presentation videos that I'm doing now. That YouTube stuff is kind of drifted over into other platforms. Facebook started doing it a long time ago, about 3-4 years ago when they started trying to compete with YouTube. You got TikTok, obviously, which is all about videos, and Instagram, which is, now all about probably videos just as much as photos, with Reels, because obviously they're trying to rival TikTok as well. And LinkedIn is caught up as well, and more people want to see video content. So it's important that in 2023 we start utilizing video content across social media. So that's probably one of the main aspects of social media that has changed is video content. Now, another aspect of social media that's changed in 2023 is social selling. Now, it's according which side of the line you sit, and this is a kind of a blurry line between salespeople and marketeers. Salespeople and will tell you that social media is all about selling and you should hold back on the content and just use it for selling online. And I recently did a blog, and a podcast as well last week about selling versus marketing online. And for me, and the stats I see, what bears out, it's all about marketing online. More people, more customers, more prospects, more viewers want to see more content from you so they can learn about you. They're not going to watch a 10-minute video or, every day or things like that, but they will drop in and out of it. They will see snippets, and they constantly see your brand name up and about, then it's going to be more stuck in their mind. So kind of some old school marketing here, Coca-Cola back in the day. Coca-Cola's job was just to get their logo absolutely everywhere, and the more places they could get it, the more synonymous they would be, and the more sales they could get. And that's kind of the same with social media. The only differences with social media now is our content has to be more relevant, it has to be more inspiring, it has to be more tailored to the people that are reading it. We can no longer say, well, anyone's my ideal customer, anyone's my audience. It's not. The way that social media works is it will deliver to those people that it thinks your content is relevant for. So you need to hone down your target audience and make sure that your content is relevant. So for this, start delivering as much content as you can, but make sure that it's actually readable or listenable or what's the name or viewable. And look, you don't have to be a primetime Emmy Award winner to, you know, make good videos. If you're delivering informative information about yourself or your business or your sector on what the customer will get, then it's going to be good. So don't worry about it. And plus, you can learn as you go along. If you start marketing now, you're not going to see any gains for about 6 months. It's the way it works, because you won't have the time to be marketing every day. So it's going to take time for this to actually work. So don't think that you're going to put a video out tomorrow and go viral and everyone's going to be commenting on it. It doesn't happen like that. So it takes time, and so it should. And this is what I think social marketing is all about, is giving it time to embed yourself in social media, in online marketing, so you last longer. It's none of this social selling where you put a post out, it sells, and that's it. Nothing else happens until you put another post out. And you constantly have to pay for ads or be very highly creative and engaging with a certain post in order to get those sales. When you are using social media for marketing more than sales, then you can create a kind of a brand, a presence, trust, authoritativeness all online, which allows you to kind of, or allows the internet kind of sell for you when you get to that certain level. You know, when Google sees the amount of content you're putting out and how relevant that is and how many people are watching it and things like that, even on social media, then they will start ranking you better. So for me, 2023 is all about it's all about marketing online rather than selling online. And it's finding a way to kind of capture that audience and convert that audience using different methods, i.e. Phone calls and email workflows, meetings, webinars, you know, whatever it takes. Use online marketing to market yourself, and then get them into a certain area or place in which enables you to convert them into a sale. We're going through this whole influencer marketing thing at the moment on social media, and because of that, you know, there's so much more content out there than there ever was. And so people know to consume content rather than buy from the first place or thing that they see. So again, market yourself. You kind of got to be an influencer in your own right. You don't have to have these 200,000-300,000 people. You can do it with just 2,000-3,000 people. You can still be an influencer to a smaller network. And I think micro influencers are going to become prominent this year. So like, if you are going to start getting influence on board to assist you and help you, it's not going to these influencers who've got hundreds of thousands of people. It's going to these influencers who've got tens of thousands, so 10 or 20,000 people that follow them, because they'll have more of a niche market that's relevant to who you are trying to target. So yeah, so that's kind of the social media side of things, really, on what to expect in 2023. Now, moving on to content, about delivering content, whether it's for social media or your website or podcasts or Google or anything like that. You know, AI is prominent now. There's no getting rid of AI written text and how AI writes, or all the images that we can create. You know, ChatGTP is phenomenal. Bart, phenomenal as well. And you know, it's there. And what we got now is people using it to mass produce content. And what's going to happen is social media and Google are going to get wiser. Well, they already are. And they're going to rely more on readability of your content. So what this means is the more people that read your content for the longer and take action on it, i.e. use the links to click here and there, you're going to get rewarded for it. So these people who are putting up hundreds upon hundreds of AI generated content are going to get absolutely nothing, and they're completely wasting their time, because Google are going to be like, well, you've just created a load of content that's AI generated, and it's not written in a way that is kind of consuming the person that's reading it or should be reading it. You know, the content might be valuable, but because it's written in such AI speak, it's not right. It doesn't work, and you know, you're going to get bounce rates from it and people are going to leave. Not saying that AI can't write engaging content and informative content, it can, but it's not just about the content that's in it now. It's going to be more about the personal approach to how it's written. So, you know, we're all Love Island type people, whether we like to admit it or not. We'd like to see the personal kind of aspects to people's lives in the content that we read. And so because of that, your content needs to reflect that. When you're talking about your business, your products, your services, people want to read how it affects them, how it affects you, how it affects the people that use it, how your business is it reflects about who you are. So we need to make sure that more of our content has a personal approach to it that reflects who we are. And I think if you can do that, then again, it's going to take time in order to start ranking and moving up moving up Google's algorithm. But if you can do that, then it's going to work. When Google have got a fine eye on this and they're getting rid of all these AI written content, solely AI, then what's left is going to start ranking highly. Now, it's not saying you can't use AI. I use AI. I love AI. I love ChatGPT-4, and I get it to write most of my blog for me because I've trained it to write in the style that I like it to be written. But I have to go through it. So once it's been written AI, I go through it, and then once I've been through it and I've tweaked and I've changed and I've added more personality to it and check the content, I then run that through Grammarly to make sure that all my grammar and my spellings and the word structures are all correct before it goes live. So it still takes me a good hour to make sure that every blog is checked correctly. And my blogs are like around 2,000 words, because that there is a nice point of having the right amount of content. We can't get away with 500 words anymore. That just doesn't happen. It's too short. Google will say, well, you're not really giving the person that's reading it anything. It's more of a highlight now. So it needs to be 1,000 word plus. And I reckon by the end of the year, we'll be looking at 1,500 words plus. People love to read long form content when it is written in a style that has personality, that tells them how you feel about what you're selling and what they should get from it. So yeah, so don't dismiss AI. AI is here to stay, and it is usable. You've just got to make sure that you utilize it correctly. Don't just rely on it to write content. You shift it up there and then do nothing with it. It's important that you spend the time to go through it. Intelligence is going to be here to stay. And I think towards the end of the year, we're going to start moving more into analytical based intelligence, where, AI is going to start telling you how well you're performing and the changes that you should make. I can already see this in like Rank Math that uses it, where it starts telling us, the types of words that we should be using and things that we should be changing in its AI. So don't be surprised towards the end of the year if I'm saying, look, we've done this. You've created this content. It's all up there. And now all you got to do is look at the analytics and use the AI in order to tell you about what you should be doing next and how you should be adapting it. And don't be afraid to go back and check things over and tweak things that you wrote at the beginning of the year based on the analytics that you've got towards the end, because it's always going to be an evolving process. It really is. Whatever you did in January, is going to be different to what is in December. And most people just leave the content and say, well, it's an evolving, my stuff's a lot better now. Well, just go back and change all that information. Don't think that everything that you've done to now isn't good enough, because it can easily be tweaked. You've already got the starting points there. So make sure you utilize the analytics that you've already got. But as we go forwards, they're going to get even more, even greater. The ability that you're going to get with AI generated analytics is going to be phenomenal, I reckon, towards the end of the year. So let's sum up what I think 2023 is going to be about. And for me, I spoke about it last year, I spoke about it the year before, and I'm going to say it again. Video. Video is the most important thing that you can be doing for your business, and sharing it across to all platforms. Look, if you haven't got a CRM, if you haven't got a social media platform, social media scheduler that goes to all platforms, if you haven't got an email automation system, you're missing out. Those three things are vital to making sure that 2023 works. And in different videos, I'm going to go through some strategies. So CRM, email software, email automation software, and social media schedulers are the three most important things that you should be having right about now. And using that, you'll be able to push out your social media. You'll be able to get signups onto your newsletter, drip out automations, and collect the information in your CRM of who that is. and build a database. Database is going to be so important. I said to several people that I work with, by December, it should all be about data. You should have a mass amount of data that you can retarget to, speak to people. So even if they're not buying from you now, you should still be collecting their information. Can you say that? Can you say that the people that you haven't sold to, you still know who they are? Because they should be in your CRM. So you can continuously speak to them. So when you're saying, it's gone dry, I haven't got much work, where can I find new clients from? Well, the first place is your CRM. You should be going into your CRM and you should be calling them. So make sure you've got that sorted. Anyway, back to the overview. Social media, videos are the most important thing. Make sure you are sending out videos on social media. It's really, really important that you do. And utilize LinkedIn, because at the moment that is one of the biggest platforms for B2B and B2C as well, because everyone has a personal life. So make sure you're utilizing LinkedIn and don't be afraid of it. Secondly was AI. Make sure that you are using AI to create content, but do not leave it just to AI. Make sure that you are going through it yourself and making the tweaks and adding that personality. It's the same if you've got someone else doing your blogs or your content for you. It's great that you have, and they're doing good, but you should still be going through it afterwards once it's uploaded and just adding some personality to it that about, personality of you. And if you're not doing this, you're not doing video, and you're like, it's not me, doesn't matter anymore. If you want to be a business owner, if you want to gain clients, then you need to be the face of it. You need to be putting yourself out there. And video is the best way of doing that. Blogs, massive. Google is going to be massive again. I think Bing is going to catch up with Google a little bit. So I think we're going to have to both platforms to play with. But blog posts, podcasts, they're all there, and you should be concentrating heavy on it. Basically, it's taking everything we did last year and just upping it more, and knowing that you've got AI to help you, but don't rely too much on AI. Don't just go, AI is doing everything for me. Use AI to make things easier for you, but make sure that you're tweaking it and you're making it your own, and you're adding personality. If someone's putting out 10 posts and you're putting out one, just look at the quality of the content. I bet all theirs is AI, so make sure that yours is written well. Right. So that is more on how the digital marketing in 2023, for me, the landscape's going to happen. There's so much more to it, but I just wanted to give an overview of a couple of things that you could be doing now in order to make that happen. I realize I talk fast, so hopefully you guys have kept up, but do replay this over and over again should you want to. Use more social media, use more video, write more blogs, use AI to do it, check your content afterwards, post them onto your website using keywords, which I'll go over in a different video, and you'll start winning more in the next 6 to 12 months. It takes time, remember, it really does. If you post a blog a week, you can expect it in 12 months. If you post 3-4 blogs a week, you can expect it in 3-4 months. So, it's how much you put into it is how quick it will happen. If you put in one blog every 2 weeks and nothing's happened after 6-7 months, that's probably why. You need to be doing more. So hopefully that helps. If you've got any questions, as always, do let me know. If you listen to this on the podcast, please subscribe to my podcast if you're listening to Amazon, Apple, or on Spotify, and the same if you're watching this on YouTube. All your comments and your subscriptions, your following is all really appreciated, definitely in my growing channel. At the moment, I've got barely anyone listening or watching, but as I said, I've been doing this now for just over a week, and I don't expect huge engagement, probably for about 3-4 months. So I appreciate that it takes time, and I'm going to commit myself to doing this every single weekday as much as I can in order to grow this for my business. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and reading.